Hey guys, welcome back to more episodes of Let's Play Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. We are about to have Darklaw exposed. Well, okay, not entirely exposed, but we just needed to look at her neck just to check something, because we need proof to, what was it again? To prove that the pendant belonged to her, therefore she was also in the tower, and therefore she's a witch or something, blah blah blah. But anyway, neck! Unless, of course, you were able to get rid of it with magic. It's a lost situation. Most impressive. What? I have to say, Defender, you've managed to finally hone that dull blade of yours into something of use. You are correct. There is, in fact, a mark on my neck that I did receive tonight. What? What? Lady Darklaw? What is the meaning of this? Does that mean Lady Darklaw is the Great Witch? Your Honor. Yes, I see you're still here, Defender. Your Honor, I know you're shocked and everything, but come on, work with me here. Since when has the judge ever worked with you? Your Honor, the defense would like to call High Inquisitor Darklaw to the witness stand. What did you say? It's quite clear that the High Inquisitor has some connection to what transpired tonight. And what's more, there is a chance that she used her position of authority as High Inquisitor to frame my client as the Great Witch. But never in all my years as judge of this court has an Inquisitor been asked to take his stand in the middle of a trial. Well, we're going to have to make some history here if we're finally going to find the truth, Your Honor. Even so, this trial cannot continue any further without an Inquisitor. Well, let's get Barnum. Hey, in that case, how about you get Inquisitor Oh, why not? Inquisitor Barnum remains incarcerated in the underground dungeons for the crime of treason against the storyteller. I don't think he will be able to make it to this party. No way! Most regrettable, Defender. Well, this whole thing is hopeless unless High Inquisitor Darklaw takes to the witness stand. Espella will be done for, and the truth along with her. This particular animation is highly reminiscent of something, or actually of what's to come, because I'm pretty sure Great Ace Attorney had something like this too. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this particular game you'll probably be seeing Great Ace Attorney. Spell is done for. Oh, I misread. I'm sorry. But on the other hand, without an Inquisitor on the other side, the trial can't continue and the outcome would end up the same. What should I do?
Hold it.
You let Deus Ex Machina show up. Oh, it's a cutscene.
I believe I can fill that role.
Professor, wait, what are you saying?
I can prove, conclusively, that Espella Cantabella is, in fact, the Great Witch Bazella.
Huh?
Now, Mr. Wright, the time has come at last to settle this once and for all.
To settle what?
We've been waiting for the professor to show up. If there was anyone who could find some decisive evidence to win this thing, it was him. However, he ended up standing behind the Inquisitor's bench. The professor wasn't on our side here.
Are you sure about that?
I had to wonder, what the heck was going to happen?
To be continued. See, we're very close to the end of the chapter, but I didn't have that much time to continue, unfortunately. But I will continue this, because, geez, only like, what, 4 minutes? I'm not saving! I'm going to remember not to save this time, just in case something happens in the recording. Aha.
Professor, but What are you doing?
What am I doing, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, you were supposed to show up with some decisive evidence and save the day, Professor.
I'm afraid my only concern here is the truth.
This is why I think Miles and Layton would get along really well.
The truth?
The truth behind the real identity of the Great Witch, Espella Cantabella. If seeking the truth requires us to stand on opposite sides of the courtroom, then so be it. I expect you to defend Miss Cantabella with everything you've got, Mr. Wright.
Court is now back in session. Are you prepared, High Inquisitor? Why isn't anyone wondering why Layton is not a gold statue? I mean, Mike went through all the effort of, like, hiding her identity, and then here comes Layton, and everyone knows he's turned into a gold statue. Okay. Plot holes? So long as I remain on the witness stand, I am no longer High Inquisitor. Simply Darklaw will suffice. Miss Darklaw, I'd like to just confirm something. A moment ago, we established that you were in fact present at the bell tower during the time of the incident. That makes a total of 3 people at the scene. It would appear that was the case. However, you managed to stay hidden from 10 different guards. With the help of this, right here. The Robe of Invisibility. In other words, there's every reason to be suspicious of your actions tonight. Lady Darklaw, while I cannot believe you would deceive us in such a way, I ask that you tell the court what happened at the time of the incident. Very well. Witness testimony! The town square was to be the parade's final stop. I patrolled the perimeter to ensure nothing was amiss. As I passed by the bell tower, a pair of small footprints leading inside caught my eye. I went inside to investigate. I had my own reasons for not allowing any one of those vigilantes to see me. I climbed the stairs up the bell tower and saw an intruder inside with their back turned. I proceeded to apprehend them. You apprehended the intruder? While I hold the position of High Inquisitor, there are often times when I must partake in various secret tasks, unbeknownst to citizens of Labyrinthia. One of those tasks being ensuring the security of the storyteller. Security? As such, there is nothing odd nor suspicious about my actions tonight. Well, how can you see the cloak? I see. Defender, you may now begin your interrogation. Professor, why? Cross-examination! What happened tonight? Alright, we are pressing on. I had my own reasons for not allowing anyone to see her. There we go. Press. Hold it! And what were those reasons? They relate to protecting the storyteller. It was something I was to carry out at that particular time. Did it perhaps have something to do with what was already decided upon in the story? The storyteller's word is absolute. Therefore, any and all those who make an attempt to alter his will must be dealt with immediately. Are you alright there, Kira?
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira? Witness!
Ah! Yes?
Figures, she really doesn't remember her own name. You seem to be deep in thought about something. Did you remember anything regarding the High Inquisitor's testimony? No, I'm sorry. Nothing in particular. It's just... I'm a little disappointed in myself. Disappointed? I traveled all the way here to Labyrinthia in order to fulfill my mission, but... all I managed to do was fail and end up being captured. Regardless of your own failure, Miss Kira, the storyteller did die as was foretold, did he not?
Tonight, as the rain came pouring down over the town, I arrived at my designated location. Naturally, the bell tower was surrounded by guards on patrol. 10 to be exact. I was very nervous.
She must be talking about the vigilantes.
Just relax. You'll be fine so long as you're wearing this robe. I kept telling myself. Little did I know, I was wrong. But none of this would have happened if I was just a little bit more careful.
Enough! I would be thinking more about atoning for your past crimes and less about what could have been if I were you. Oh, Kira. Is there something wrong with Kira's testimony? There's something odd there. Hold on 1 second. About your testimony, Miss Kira. You were thinking to yourself that so long as you had your robe on, you would be fine.
Yes, that's right. I was...
So basically, you were wearing the robe the whole time you were on the top floor of the bell tower. Is that right?
Yes. I had it on the entire time. That is, until I was attacked. Then my robe was ripped off by the wind.
Miss Kira, this is the first time we've heard any mention of this information.
Is that so? I think I must have just forgotten.
Your Honor, perhaps we should update this piece of evidence in the court record. Right you are. Where's Luke? Wouldn't Luke be like standing right next to him on the prosecutor's side? Lady Darklaw, please continue your testimony. ... Anyway. Okay, with their back turn. That makes no sense, so let's present the invisibility group.
Objection!
Oh, wait. Yes. Okay, I got it right. Come on, it gotta be right, because technically she should be able to see that thing, right? So the person you saw when you entered the bell tower was actually Miss Kira. The only problem with that is that it would have been impossible.
What are you talking about, Defender?
Miss Kira, or should I say the witness, stated that while she was waiting on the upper floor of the tower, she was wearing her invisibility cloak. Therefore, did you say robe or cloak? There's no way Miss Darklaw would have been able to see the witness. Oh, you're quite right. Anyone wearing this robe becomes invisible. Right, but there is just one particular group that can see anyone dressed in this robe. And who is that exactly? Only residents of the Eldritch Woods are able to see the robe. If you're from the Eldritch Woods, then you have absolutely no problem seeing this thing.
Objection!
So, what you're saying, Mr. Wright, is that Miss Darklaw here actually hails from the Eldritch Woods. Is that correct? And that she knew this girl prior to tonight. That's right, Professor. What is this? Where's Luke? A most impressive display, Mr. Wright. However, there is one detail that you appear to have overlooked. Something I overlooked? You say Miss Darklaw saw something she should not have been able to see. However, the truth is that there is one other possibility as to what occurred tonight. Did he just say what I think he said? It's rather easy to work out. Quite simply, the witness was not wearing the robe in the first place. What are you talking about, Inquisitor? This witness has proven her memory of tonight's events to be quite unreliable. I believe that by the time she climbed the bell tower, she had, in fact, already removed her robe.
What?
'Tis as you say, Inquisitor. Uh-oh.
As you can see, Defender, your assertion is mere speculation at best. Your little witness here has been lying to the court the entire time. It's as simple as that.
Objection!
Well, 1 second. The witness was quite clear about her testimony, with her testimony. Isn't that right, Miss Kira?
I'm not sure.
What?
I mean, my memory is a little fuzzy.
No way! God damn it, Kira, stop covering for Darklaw. It would appear there is nothing more to be gained from this line of questioning.
Your Honor, I suggest we return to the cross-examination.
A fine idea, Inquisitor. Well then, Lady Darklaw, will you please continue with your testimony?
As you wish. No matter how you slice it, Kira looks like she's definitely hiding something. If only there was some way of getting her to talk, huh, Nick? No matter what Kira says, Darklaw just stays cool and brushes it off.
Yeah, this is gonna be easy, that's for sure. That's why we really need to set our sights on Darklaw. If we keep doing that, then sooner or later Kira is bound to speak up and say something.
Whoa, Nick, that's your most dastardly devious plan yet.
Alright, I know there's still a clue or two in this testimony somewhere, and I'm gonna find it. I should go back and double check her previous testimony. There have to be some more contradictions. There have to be? Or has to be? I don't know. Okay, we're going far back, something about footprints. Okay, press Hold it! There must have been... Those must have been Miss Kira's footsteps from when she snuck into the bell tower, right?
Indeed. The ground outside was quite muddy after the rain, so her footprints were easily visible.
Right. According to the Vigilante's testimony, they thought the footprints looked like Foxy's, but it turned out they weren't hers.
That's right. Her footprint would have contained a mark where her stiletto had been. But the footprints I saw at the bell tower contained no heel mark at all.
And you stepped inside those footprints on your way up the stairs so as not to leave your own and risk being detected, correct?
Exactly. At that time, my main task was to ensure the safety of the town square. In doing so, it was of the utmost importance that no one knew of my presence there. Had the townspeople noticed your presence there, it would have undoubtedly have raised some suspicion. Indeed, so naturally that is why I did not wish to be noticed by the Vigilantes. Therefore, it was imperative that I mask any trace of my being there, even if it meant utilizing another's footprints.
I see. A clever tactic worthy of the High Inquisitor herself. Is there anything off about her testimony just now? There's something very wrong. Miss Darklaw, I just noticed something in your testimony that's very relevant to the case. The defense requests you amend your testimony.
You just can't help letting that ridiculous imagination of yours run wild, can you? The Inquisition has no objections.
Very well, the witness will amend her testimony.
There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible.
Alright, let's present those footprints in question.
Objection!
What I have here is a sketch of the footprints left at the bell tower. So tell me, Miss Darklaw, are these your footprints in this sketch?
It would appear so. I would never mean to offend the hard work of the Labyrinthia's Vigilantes, but tonight's task was mine and mine alone.
Okay, when you put it that way, I can't help but notice a contradiction.
What did you say?
Miss Darklaw, you stated the following. When you climbed the stairs, the footprints had no heel, so you tried to match your footsteps to them as far as possible. However, if you look at the actual footprints that were left behind, you can clearly see that not only is the heel present, but so is the entire foot. If you were trying so hard to step on the footprints already there, then the footprints in the sketch shouldn't have heel marks. Oop. This is very true. Although I do not think such a small detail is of much importance in the long run. I agree, it's a small detail, Your Honor, but that's not all I noticed. There was something very telling about Miss Darklaw's testimony. Telling, you say? She stated that she stepped on to the footprints that were already at the scene in order to disguise her presence. Now, there's something strange there. Specifically, why were these footprints left at the crime scene in the first place?
Objection.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Professor. Tell me, can you show the court why this seemingly minor detail is odd? I can't exactly do that at the moment. Who can say whether or not these footprints are indeed worthy of concern? And if it is an issue, then what exactly are the implications? That, above all, is what you must answer, Mr. Wright. Here's a puzzle for you to solve! I do not believe you can assert that this is a blatant contradiction at this time. Ugh, there he goes again, flexing that amazing brain of his.
That's enough.
Miss Kira?
Lady Darklaw, how could you? How could you simply abandon us? How could you betray us?
Uh-oh. Betray? Witness, what is the meaning of this?
Lady Darklaw, you are the mistress of the Eldritch Woods. You are the one responsible for handing us our task.
What? Well, cat's out of the bag! I am really thirsty and wish I could drink my drink over here.
This wretched girl is nothing more than a detestable spawn of magic. Her words cannot be taken seriously.
Oh my god, poor Kira.
People of Labyrinthia, I ask you, what am I if not a loyal daughter of this fair town? No! You're lying, Miss Darklaw. Or Lady Darklaw. When I was waiting up there at the top of the bell tower, I was most certainly wearing that robe. Lady Darklaw, you were also wearing a similar robe, were you not? Don't you remember? What nonsense. I haven't a clue what you're babbling about. I simply managed to sneak right by those makeshift guards, which was not the most demanding of tasks for someone like me. Yes, you're right. That would be true. If you'd been sneaking around by yourself.
By yourself? I just skipped that by accident, sorry.
Enough. Listen to me and listen well. Continue as you are, and I will see to it that this court be the last place in which you ever set foot. It matters not. The end is already nigh. After the events of today, I shouldn't even be here right now.
Miss Kira, you're saying that Miss Darklaw was not by herself at the time of the incident tonight.
That's right. Lady Darklaw was wearing the invisibility robe, and underneath that robe was a young girl passed out on her neck.
What? Girl? Could that be?
Yes. It was the very same girl imprisoned inside that cage up there.
You mean Bella Cantabella? Oh, the plot thickens. Order! Order! So the accused was carried up the bell tower.
My lord, there is nothing left for me to say. 'Tis the word of the High Inquisitor versus that of a witch. Tell me, who would you sooner believe?
Objection.
Miss Darklaw, you of all people should be aware that this isn't a matter of believing or not believing. I'm afraid those are words that carry no meaning here. The only thing that carries any meaning here within the courtroom is evidence. Don't you agree, Mr. Wright? Yes, absolutely, Professor.
Well, now.
Okay, that was slow text, sorry.
Well now, things are beginning to heat up a little, are they not? Fine. Tell me, Defender, have you the means to prove this assertion? Do you actually think you can prove that I, the High Inquisitor of Labyrinthia, carried the accused into the bell tower?
From the looks of it, Miss Kira was supposed to keep quiet about Darklaw's little secret, but she couldn't deal with all of Darklaw's denials and finally found the guts to chime in. I can't let Kira's effort go to waste. I don't care what stands in my way. I'm going to find the truth. Your Honor, the defense wishes to present evidence proving that Miss Darklaw did, in fact, carry my client up the tower. Very well, Defender. You may present your evidence. Show us the evidence that proves Lady Darklaw carried the accused up the bell tower. Ironically enough, we're presenting the footprint sketch again. There was something in your testimony just now that I'm not buying. And that's the footprints that were left at the bell tower.
Did I not just finish admitting that those were my footprints?
Ms. Darklaw, you stated the following. There was no heel on the footprints, so as I ascended the stairs, I was careful to match my footsteps to them as far as possible. However, the reality is, the footprints pictured in the sketch actually do contain a heel. That means something must have prevented you from being able to tiptoe along the footsteps that were already there. Prevented? Huh? You mean... That's right, Your Honor. Miss Darklaw, when you climbed up the bell tower tonight, you must have been carrying Miss Cantabella on your back, is that correct? If you remember, it rained quite heavily tonight. That means the stairs must have been quite slippery. With your two hands occupied carrying my client, there would be no safe way for you to tiptoe up the stairs without falling. That right there is the proof... Blah. That right there is the truth behind the footprints on the staircase. Bleh. Excuse me. Anyway, Lady Darklaw, you...
Fine, I admit it. It is as you say. I donned the robe and made my way up the tower. But I was not alone. I carry both Espella Cantabella and her little friend up the tower with me.
Little friend?
That black-furred creature of hers. The thing is nary ever a second from her side. Oh, she must mean Eve! When I arrived at the top of the tower, I saw this girl already there and called out to her. I was very shocked to see the mistress show up in person like that. The girl's presence was an inconvenience, so I immediately put her to sleep. Believe it or not, it's just like you said, Defender. I used what remained of Belduke's medicine to put the girl out of the picture.
And that's when Miss Kira put up a fight and pulled this pendant right off your neck, correct?
That's right.
I cannot phantom it. That would mean this pendant actually belongs to you, Lady Darklaw. I just have one question, Miss Darklaw. Why? Why take Espella up the bell tower? Why render her unconscious? And why go through the trouble of sneaking past the guards? What exactly was your aim in all of this?
I am in no way obliged to answer that question, Defender.
What? What makes you say that?
Simple. None of this has any relevance to the case at hand. That is why.
Objection!
I'm starting to wonder if we ever found out why, now that I think about it. Miss Darklaw, you rendered the witness unconscious and locked her up at the top of the bell tower. I'd say that is more than a little relevant.
Objection.
Your Honor, if I may. The Inquisition believes the defense's questions to be irrelevant to the current case.
Professor, what are you saying?
It would seem the defense has forgotten a very important point. Namely, the point of this, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
The aim of this trial is to find the identity of the Great Witch Vizela. Whether or not Miss Darklaw locked the witness at the top of the bell tower is hardly relevant to the purpose of this trial.
But...
There is one thing that is very clear. Neither Miss Darklaw nor this witness could possibly be Vizela. What? If either one of the two were Vizela, then there would be no need for them to have used this robe of invisibility. They cannot use any magic, therefore it is inconceivable that either of them could be the Great Witch.
A rather straightforward argument if there ever was one.
At the time of the incident, there were 3 people present. Of those 3, 2 used the robe of invisibility to vanish from sight, leaving only one person, indeed Miss Cantabella.
Ugh.
With this in mind, the larger question is, who is Vizela? Is that not obvious? The accused, Espella Cantabella, is the only possible answer. Besides, the accused's voice was heard by all the townspeople, chanting the spell Grandworm.
Objection!
Not so fast! I happen to think these witnesses are extremely relevant to this trial. Did you forget about Miss Kira? She supposedly took a one-way trip into that pit of fire over there. And yet, there she is, in one piece, testifying that she returned in order to kill the ruler of Labyrinthia, the storyteller. Then there's Miss Darklaw, who rendered the defendant unconscious and proceeded to transport her up to the bell tower. I say there's more than enough reason to investigate who these two really are.
Only to discover that they are not, in fact, the Great Witch Bizella.
I'm saying there's a possibility that these two are somehow related to Bizella. The court will now announce its thoughts on the matter. I must say, what Inquisitor Layton has stated certainly does ring true. And you're still not questioning why he's not a gold statue. However, Lady Darklaw, I have one question I must ask you. What exactly were you hoping to accomplish here tonight? Good question, and we're going to find that out in the next video as we've run out of time for this video now. So, I will see you guys in the next video.